Okay, huge movie fanatic. Nate reporting with another solo review, which is this going to become the norm? I don't know. Time will tell. Um, it's basically been 4 months since this movie came out, and we did a batch of reviews like right before I saw it, and I saw it the week after. This is a review for Pacific Rim, something that I saw the trailer for in the theater when I saw some other stupid summer movie. Probably what the hell did I see? It doesn't matter. But I saw some other summer movie. Oh, probably Iron Man 3 or something. Excuse me, I don't know what the hell this. Anyway, I saw this trailer in the summer. So I was like, ooh boy, and then I forgot about it. And then anyway, I ended up seeing Pacific Rim. And I gotta tell I'm a big fan. Oh, basically because of my age, I grew up with Voltron, which of course is the Americanized version of Go Lion. I would not appreciate. I would recommend you see Go Lion versus seeing Voltron, because that's just so much better. It's just like, you know, I grew up with form, blazing sword, and it's so much better to hear him say, what's he say? Shit! I can't remember what he said. Fucking motherfucker. Joking! That's so much more, so much cooler than form, blazing sword. So anyway, I would recommend Go Lion is so much, I thought Voltron was badass. Not until you see Go Lion. So I grew up with Voltron, which is basically pansy-ass version of Go Lion. I mean, just dubbed over voices and cut out cool stuff, violence. And so, I've always liked this kind of thing when I was a kid. I did, of course, a review of Robot Wars. I'm a fan of Robot Wars, Robot Jox, Crash and Burn. Big robot stuff. I've always liked ever since I was a kid, and I've always liked, like Japanese kaiju movies and stuff like that since I was a kid. So it only made sense. I was excited when I saw the trailer for this, so I went in and saw it. I saw it in 3D because, if it's a movie like this, I will splurge and do it. I'm worth it. And I gotta admit, I mean, I was disappointed. I thought that the visual effects and the robots and stuff were cool, but I was disappointed with the overall premise. I thought could have been a little, I don't know, it's too bad. Their whatchamacallit, their excuse, for it being what it is just, it's just supposed to be like an old whatever. But I don't know. I didn't really like the whole bit about. I didn't even really like the designs of any of the kaiju or anything like that. They all look the same to me, and I didn't like how they looked to begin with. And I didn't like all the bullshit with the. It was kind of cool, but not really when you think about it. All the drifting and all that crap, and especially towards the end, drifting with the kaiju and figuring out what they're doing and because of it. And I thought the notion of that whole drifting with two people to get in sync with the thing was just contrived bullshit. I think that all you have to do, like in Robot Jox, is be in one guy in a freaking, whatever, control room wearing a bodysuit or whatever, hooked into things that will, read what your body's doing, and then the big robot will copy what you're doing. I mean, this whole contrivancy of the drift and everything like that was so dumb. But the one thing I can see why they did it, because it was like drama to, instead of, because like in the old days with Voltron, both of them, like, well, Vehicle Voltron and Line Voltron and shit. I mean, it was a bunch of people, especially Vehicle Voltron, but it was a bunch of people in one robot, which is kind of cool. So the idea of having like one in a robot wouldn't have been as dramatic as having, like, the Asian one has three guys. You never even really see the guy in the back. But the idea of having, I guess at the end of the day, I'll let it pass, because the idea of having two people is much more dramatic, like side by side, than just one person in the robot. So, but But so yeah, those are the big complaints. I don't like I like the black guy from Prometheus. I liked him in Prometheus, and he was pretty good in this. And I don't like the main character, and unfortunately, like I don't know. I don't like the main character and his voice. It's just like, there's acts of God like a hurricane, but when you're in a Jaeger, you can walk right through it. I don't know. It's just his voice was really annoying, even after the first 5 minutes. My brother and I were never really athletes, and the one walks like this, then it's like, get out of here, man. Okay, so pluses obviously are some of the best goddamn computer visual effects of like big huge robots that you've ever seen ever. And the coolest thing when I first saw when I first saw the opening where it was like when they were first at the very beginning getting into the head and getting locked in and all this shit, I was like, my 12-year-old self was going, oh my god, I was gonna wet myself or ejaculate in my pants in the theater, but I didn't because the movie ended up getting dumb. But at the very beginning, when they're getting into their suits and they're getting locked into the robot and the head goes down the thing and connects to the head, and it's just like, fuck yes! And I still like the movie for those aspects. As a matter of fact, those are the only parts I really watch, just the robot shit. But the movie as a whole, unfortunately, is kind of, it could have been better. I think the scenario and everything like that, and like I say, the kaiju, I don't like any of the designs, and they all look the same. They're forgettable and everything like that. The thing I don't like is the loud or the blabby scientist guy with the glasses and stuff. It's kind of just annoying. I thought Ron Perlman that's his name, right? I think it is. Was kind of there to just be there because it's a Guillermo del Toro movie, and I didn't really like all that stuff. And I can get you. I don't know. It's just. I thought there was a lot of crap in there that if I made a Nate cut of Pacific Rim, it wouldn't even be there. So unfortunately, obviously the highlights are the robot scenes, which of course are great. Oh, what I was gonna almost forget to say what I wanted to say, which is one thing I thought was a little bit of a bummer with the majority of the fights, the first one and like the last ones and everything like that, all except for that more lighthearted city one, which was, I felt that, obviously, yeah, I don't know, I felt like it almost went too serious with a lot of that stuff, like when his brother died, but of course when his brother died you have to go serious, but it's almost like he's in the robot going, "Ah!" so much that it's almost not even enjoyable. Maybe it's just because I'm getting old and pansy, but it's almost like too serious, so that one scene when they were fighting in the city and it became a little more lighthearted, like I thought it was great when the fist went in there and then hit the balls on the desk and stuff, like pushing them back, and the seagull, fluttering away. That kind of stuff is what the whole movie would have been for me. I just thought that the majority of it, like the beginning and the end and all that stuff, where people were dying and stuff, I don't know. It just didn't have to be like, the stakes didn't have to be that high, or it just seemed to ruin it for me, because I guess maybe because the stakes weren't really that high in Voltron, I don't know. It just seemed like the stakes were too high, but I guess if the stakes aren't high, then, there's no drama. But I don't know, it just seemed like, there's just too much whatever, but just too many people dying, I think. It's just kind of a bummer, but I guess if you don't have stakes high, then where's the drama, but I don't even know how the music, I don't know how I feel about the music. It's like yes and no at the same time. It's like, I don't know. I think I'm going to go 2.5 stars for Pacific Rim. Now don't get me wrong, like the robot stuff is great. If you look at Gypsy Danger, not that I look at robots' asses all the time, but if you look at Gypsy Danger's ass and compare it to like RoboCop's ass, the first 3 original RoboCop movies, the ass is exactly the same. Like, that's one thing I noticed. I wasn't like checking the robot's ass out. It's just, but like I say, the visual effects obviously for the robot stuff was great. And one of the cool bits was like, I think it's dead, but I don't know. Let's check for a pulse. Boom, boom, boom. No pulse. Did. Oh, I was almost gonna go did. That's Saw. I can't remember how the music. Oh, I'm a walking robot right now. Anyway, that's like the Pacific. I guess that theme's okay. It's kind of almost like, like Asian, whatever. 2.5 stars for Pacific Rim. Don't get me wrong, I love the robot scenes. The 3D Blu-ray's great. The best, probably one of the best conversions I've seen this side of Titanic. Like the best 3D in the movie, ironically, is the stuff of them in the cockpits of the, I don't know if that's what you call it, I don't know what the hell you call it, whether the people are actually in the head of the robots. The best 3D in the movie is just the, 3D of the people and all of the gauges and stuff. And also that one guy who's in control, he's like, it's got those 3 screens, is like red, green, blue and stuff, like when the camera goes in front of all that stuff. I mean, the 3D, ironically, is the best in the confined, closed spaces, and in the big, sprawling city stuff, it's not. There's one scene where it's like, elbow rocket, and the thing's punching him, and the helicopter is like in the foreground, comes around in the foreground, and that's like in 3D. And elbow rocket's kind of cool, shush. I mean, it's, those scenes are great, and that's exactly what, you, like I say, you hope for in the movie. But overall, I guess I already said this. Thanks for watching, 2.5 stars. Overall, it's just, I'm like a Quentin Tarantino movie. Like the end is at the beginning and the middle, and I'm figuring, I think I said enough, right? So Pacific Rim, I mean, at the end of the day, it kind of was a disappointment, but the robot stuff's cool. I think that's what I want to say. Thank you for watching. Elbow rocket. Let's do this together!